And good morning. It's now 7:04 on this Tuesday. It's August 3rd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. The sun is shining. It's a Tuesday and we're glad to have you with us. And of course, Tuesdays we're on the air for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Tracy Pope is here as per usual. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well, and it's good to have you as always. And you brought somebody with you this morning, as you also usually do, and somebody we're going to enjoy meeting and having on air for the first time.
Absolutely. We have Jeannie Yateman. She's our Chief Nursing Officer at the hospital. She came to us from Vanderbilt. She has many years of service and has most recently been the Executive Director of LifeLight. So we're excited to talk to Jeannie, and we also are excited. We're just talking about the Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair. It's just around the corner, and Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital is the official medical provider of the fair. So we're here to talk about the fair and the exciting things happening.
And no doubt it's an exciting time for you, Jeannie, to come here. You were telling me you've been here about a year, just over a year, I believe.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Coleman. Yes.
Good morning.
That's right. I have been here at Vanderbilt Wilson County for about a year. I came in an interim position. I'm still in an executive director role with LifeLight. They're actively recruiting to get that position filled, but now I'm here as the CNO.
Well, let's go back to the beginning or close to it a little bit. We'd like to hear the story of how people got into the medical profession. A lot of them dreamed maybe of this as a child. This is what I want to do. Others kind of stumbled into it later on, where maybe they'd even gone to school for something else, and then had a change maybe in their 20s or something. What about you?
Well, for me, it was really natural. I saw my first helicopter land when I was 9 years old. I lived in Baltimore, and I saw their healthcare system is a little bit different from air medical transport. So they have a state-run system for their helicopters, and I saw this helicopter land to pick up a 9-year-old that had been burned. And when I saw him get off the helicopter, I knew. I also loved emergency. Johnny and Gage were my first loves, if you remember that show. And so I knew really early on that healthcare was something that I was interested in. And I've been really fortunate and really blessed to be part of the LifeLight program for almost over 25 years.
Did you take the usual courses and the usual pretty lengthy time of learning to get where you are?
So I grew up in Williamson County. I moved to Williamson County, and I grew up there. Did some first responding. That's where I got my EMT license. I went to Columbia State and started at Vanderbilt as a 2-year nurse. I've gone back to get a BSN. Again, Vanderbilt has been amazing at really supporting my growth, and really just it has been nothing short of a blessing.
Well, it's a crucial time. What you do and what the emergency people do is not for everybody, I don't think. And if you don't like the sight of blood, if you don't like dealing with traumatic situations, you better do something else, I guess.
I think certain people are drawn to emergency medicine and the care that we provide in the helicopter and the ambulance. It is truly, and I've always looked at it as an honor and a privilege to be in someone's life at that moment. It's not like going to the doctor. You don't plan it, you don't anticipate it. And I think really just it's to be able to be there for someone when they're experiencing that kind of crisis, to be there for someone's family when they're having to experience that is, I think you're right. It does take a special person, but I think you have to be willing to put yourself out there.
Yeah. And everybody doesn't make it. I mean, you have people who die, and that's, you got to be able to take that as well. That's got to be somewhat traumatic, isn't it?
What I will tell you is that over my years of being in EMS, we as an industry have gotten so much better at talking about the really difficult things, in the beginning of my career. It was really a badge of honor. And you didn't talk about the deaths. You didn't talk about the hard stuff that you dealt with. And now I'm really, at Vanderbilt Life Flight, we have a chaplain. That chaplain reaches out to our flight crews, our ground crews, whenever they have a really difficult transport. Really supporting our staff and supporting the mental health of them is one of the most important things that I do now as a leader for that program, because it is so important that we are dedicating to them and that we are talking about those experiences and helping them process those experiences, because they are extremely difficult. Like you said, I mean, they see things, it's almost like I was going to use the word VCR, but a lot of people may not even know what a VCR is. But it's almost like having a VCR in your brain and you replay these really difficult things. So having our chaplain, having someone that you can reach out to and talk about these difficult experiences is so important. It's so important to everyone's mental health.
Well, with more than 30 years' experience with Vanderbilt, tell us what drew you to Lebanon and Wilson County.
So what Life Flight One was our one of our first Life Flight air medical base. We moved here in Lebanon. I am excited to have been a part of the Life Flight program during its entire growth. When I started with Life Flight, we were one helicopter and that was it. Now we have 8 helicopters, we have an airplane, and we have multiple ambulances. What drew me to Lebanon is something completely unexpected, and I was asked to really step in and take the role as our former CNO wanted to retire, and so I was asked to come here to Lebanon and do this just for a short period of time. What I will tell you about Lebanon and what I'll tell you about being able to offer COVID vaccinations for the community, that's really what drew me in. And the fact that Vanderbilt Wilson County was able to provide over 1,500 vaccinations for the community, working in conjunction with the health department, I really fell in love with the small community, the ability to be able to work in a smaller environment. And it was something that I wasn't looking for, but I'm so excited came into my life at the right time.
All right, 30-year tenure. You've spent your entire clinical career, Vanderbilt, with Life Flight. Tell us how the program's evolved since it began.
So one of the things that people think is when they hear the word Life Flight, they think, okay, that's just flying.
Yeah.
And that's really that's just a component of what we do now. Yes, we do have 8 air medical helicopter bases that are in and around the Middle Tennessee area. If you think about the Lebanon base here, we moved it to Sumner County because Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital wants to become a destination hospital. We're working on our level 3 accreditation. We really want to be an asset for the community and really be an extension of our downtown sister facility. So you think about that was one of the reasons why the air medical base moved from here to Sumner County. We also have an airplane. Our airplane flies as far as Florida and longer destinations. So if you've got a patient that needs to be transported from, let's just say, Jackson, Tennessee, if it's not an acute emergent transport, but they need a higher level of care, you might send an airplane as opposed to sending a helicopter. Mm-hmm. The other thing that people don't really realize about Life Flight when they look at Life Flight is that we have multiple ambulances. We have a critical care ambulance that responds when a patient doesn't necessarily need to fly, but needs an acute level, a team to be able to transport them from high specialization. We also am really excited, and we did a grand opening of our ground transport base here in Lebanon that's across from the hospital. That really helps us be able to offer transports when patients are discharged. They do a lot of non-emergency transports. So again, when you think about Life Flight, you think about that acute emergent scenario, but we're also doing non-emergent transports. And the other part of the business that people don't think about is the event medicine business. And that's where we're out there and we're supporting large events such as the fair that Tracy mentioned.
Well, we need to go to a break in a moment here, but just wondering about your airplane. Where does it stay when it's not flying in the air?
Well, our airplane right now is at B&A, but we are super excited that we are building a base here in Lebanon, and it will be housed at the Lebanon airport. We were very fortunate and have a long-standing relationship working with Heather and her board, and so we're building a hangar there, and this is where our airplane will be housed.
Well, it seems like you really have something going here, and you're not finished by any means.
Nope, you're exactly right. We've only just started.
All right, we'll take a break right here. I'll introduce our guests when we come back. Our program, of course, presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:14. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, that regular oil change only $24.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, 1673 West Main. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a pretty good delay remaining here on 24 westbound. Trying to get past OHB. All that traffic trying to get in from Rutherford County into this portion of Davidson County because of that earlier crash that everybody's still slowing down the rubberneck. That's 24 westbound. Again, trying to get past OHB. As traffic builds down I-40 coming through Mount Juliet right now, all the traffic leaving Wilson County. Gatlinburg Wine Cellars, home of the world famous cotton candy wine. All their flavors right now at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. We are, of course, presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We have Tracy Hope here, who is the Director of Community Relations. And this morning, we get to meet Jeannie Yateman, who is the Chief Nursing Officer for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, but knows all about life flight and all about these emergency situation and seems to thrive on it. It is your life, I gather from talking with you this morning, and it's kind of what you're all about.
It is a part of my DNA, absolutely. It's an extension of who I am. But I'm, again, really very excited to be in a community facility where I can be an extension of that and really help as Vanderbilt has community hospitals. As you know, Vanderbilt is the only level 1 trauma center in the Middle Tennessee area. Before we went to break, we were talking about helicopters and ambulances. Vanderbilt Life Flight is fortunate to be able to partner with WEMA from an EMS perspective. So helicopters don't just dispatch themselves. We work in conjunction with police, fire, and EMS. When you think
Well,
of
usually you'll get a call. I mean, you don't know what's happening until somebody tells you, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We don't know what's happening. So we either go to the scenes of an accident or we actually go to the hospital and do what we call interfacility transports. Vanderbilt Life Flight will go to any hospital in downtown Nashville. It's not just specific to Vanderbilt. So from a rotor wing or even ground transport perspective, we'll take patients wherever they need to go.
Well, you might just kind of go over the services that you provide again for those who might have joined us after the break here. But the service that's offered seems, from my perspective, to be so much more complex, more complete than it was, say, even 10 or 15 years ago.
No, you're exactly right, Coleman. The service has really grown and expanded. And what we do is we really want to meet the patient and make sure that we've got the right asset to transport the right patient at the right time. We work in conjunction with our Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital colleagues. They also have an Angel Transport ambulance that does neonate or pediatric transports. Our dispatch center, we work in conjunction with them to make sure that if it's a pediatric patient, here at Vanderbilt Wilson County, we are fortunate that we've just rolled out and we've got telemedicine for our pediatric patients. One of the things that we found is that a lot of times patients were being transported downtown only to be discharged. So now by us being able to use and have that Vanderbilt resource here at Vanderbilt Wilson County, that really helps with that.
Okay, anything we haven't covered here? Have we covered it all, Tracy?
Jeannie is doing a fantastic job. I know I reiterate this, but we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary at the hospital being part of the Vanderbilt health system. And, you know, Vanderbilt has brought over 10 different service lines to us in the past 24 months. They have expertise, and Jeannie is just an example of that. Her leadership as the executive director of Vanderbilt Lifelight and wanting to join our hospital as the chief nursing officer, and her experience in nursing and emergency medicine has just brought so much to Wilson County and our hospital. We're so fortunate to have Jeannie. As far as the Ground Lifelight Center that's just right across the street from the hospital, you know, we, like Jeannie said, we really partner with WEMA, and sometimes we do have those emergent transports that we would need to rely on WEMA for that would take them away from any emergency that might happen in Wilson County. So we're fortunate to be an asset, you know, with WEMA, so Vanderbilt Ground Service can handle those emergencies when WEMA has other emergencies going on here in the county.
Well, I guess it's time to sort of switch gears, as we say, because as we look at the calendar, a week from this Thursday is the 12th, and that's the start of the Wilson County Fair. And you certainly have a presence there. The hospital does.
Yes. I have worked at the hospital for 6 years and been involved in the Wilson County Fair the whole time I have been at the hospital. And the hospital's had a sponsorship and a relationship with the fair well before me. So over 20 years. We've always provided first aid services in partnership with WEMA as well. And in 2019, we had become part of the Vanderbilt health system for only 13 days when we had the fair. And lots of partners at the fair said, well, we want Lifelight Event Medicine to help us. And I was so new to the Vanderbilt system, I was not familiar with Vanderbilt Lifelight Event Medicine. And I said, okay, well, give us a year and we will figure that out. In 2020 wasn't what we expected, but here we are in 2021, and we are so honored to be able to provide Vanderbilt Lifelight Event Medicine for the Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair as the official medical provider of the fair.
Well, let me ask Jeannie, have you worked in a fair situation in your career?
Well, absolutely.
Or is this going to be something new for you?
This isn't anything new. What I will tell you is our event medicine team, we do the Country Music Awards. We do everything that happens at Bridgestone Arena. We partner with Nashville Fire Department. We do large events in downtown Nashville. We have several different venues that have opened up this year from a music perspective. We've got a brand new one that's opening up in Williamson County. So we're accustomed to working in events where there are a large amount of people coming for something specific.
Well, if the weather's hot, you can expect a few people maybe to suffer from heat stroke. Sometimes somebody might suffer a heart attack. There can be an accident. Hopefully, and we've always had a really safe fair, I think. But every once in a while there'll be something like that. But you're ready to deal with any and all of it, I take it.
We are ready to deal with any and all of it. What I will tell you is sometimes our heat, especially when there's outdoor events, hydration is extremely important. Vanderbilt Event Medicine partnered with WEMA, and we actually supported the Nashville Super Speedway at the NASCAR event. On that Sunday, we had multiple patients. We saw, again, people that were there several days. The fact, again, hydration and just making sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you've got comfortable shoes that you're wearing. Those are just some of the things that I think are really important to think about whenever you're looking at a fair or any outdoor event such as that.
Well, again, you want to have first aid, and a lot of things that happen are not life-threatening events necessarily, but then you're there, you're prepared for the least or the worst, it sounds like, and especially the life flight is part of that.
Yes, sir, we are.
Yeah.
Whatever comes our direction, we will work with WEMA and get it handled.
Well, anything else about the fair?
Yeah, so part of the details with the fair, we have 3 first aid stations that Event Medicine will staff. We, as a hospital, are also having a lactation and diaper changing station. We'll also have an EMS worker staffed in that area to assist in case the need arises. Jeannie and I have both been fortunate enough to work with WEMA and the fair in preparation for the event, and they have been doing this for years. WEMA has kind of been leading this action, and they are highly prepared for any emergency. We hope things like that never happen. You were just saying we've not really had a major event at the fair. We hope that never happens, but I can tell you that they are prepared and ready for whatever comes their way. Once again, we're just excited. I know this is a new era for Wilson County and being part of the Tennessee State Fair. So we're excited to see how different it is, maybe how many additional participants come and join us here in Wilson County. But once again, the services and the first aid stations that the hospital is able to provide with support of Vanderbilt Life Flight Event Medicine is just above and beyond what we've been able to offer before.
All right, let me throw something else here for Jeannie to comment on here. You've been in this for a long time. You've seen a lot of changes. You've seen things come along for the better, to improve, to improvise, this sort of thing. What does the future? Have we got as good as we can get when it comes to dealing with emergencies, with the equipment, with all that we have? How can we get any better than we are now? Or what do you expect in 5 or 10 years?
What I will tell you is healthcare is always changing, and it's always trying to improve and be better. And from a life flight standpoint, we take every situation and scenario and we review that. So if we experience the same thing, we can do it better the next time. Mm-hmm. We are not perfect, but we are constantly trying to learn from our past experiences to ensure that we're improving that. And I can tell you from a healthcare perspective, that's the most exciting thing that's happening, especially working in a facility such as Vanderbilt with the amount of research that goes on. I really think, again, if you think about COVID and you think about that infectious process, one of the things that I think that we have learned about that we will take into our future care is probably the healthcare provider wearing a mask when they're doing any type of an intubation. And that's where you put a tube down somebody's throat. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's just constant improvement that's going on and happening because we are never going to reach the pinnacle of where we want to be. We've got to constantly be pushing and striving to be better.
All right, let me ask one other thing. You always wonder whether you have adequate number of people who are interested in doing what you do, or even in the healthcare field. And sometimes there'll be situations that happen that kind of discourage people. Right now, we was talking to the sheriff yesterday. There's some discouragement to people wanting to be a law enforcement officer because of some of the things that's happened. What about the health field in particular? What you do, emergency situations, is that a good field to get into? And do you have plenty of people coming, you think, going to want to do that as the years go by?
Well, what I can tell you is that we are working to really get out to high schools to make sure that these upcoming students know about careers that they can have in healthcare from an EMS perspective. I think it's something that that our younger generation doesn't necessarily know about, and we are, from a LifeLight perspective, actively trying to go out into the community. We have relationships with some of the metro public high schools to really ensure that our students are aware, because EMS is a wonderful, wonderful profession.
All right, as always, Tracy, you get the last word. And we've got about a minute and a half.
So we would just like to highlight some of the other resources that we have at the hospital. As Jeannie was saying earlier, we have provided over 15,000 vaccinations to Wilson County, to the Wilson County community and residents in partnership with the Wilson County Health Department. We did end our vaccinations at the hospital last Friday, but that's only because the volumes were so low, and the Wilson County Health Department is providing that service Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 4 p.m. And they take walk-ins for vaccinations. And then there are other clinics and pharmacies that are providing COVID vaccinations as well. But if for some reason the volume gets so high, we can start that back up at any time. We also have infectious disease physicians that are available and willing to provide like a town hall. It can be virtual or in person for businesses or civic groups to just kind of answer the questions about COVID vaccinations and questions that people have. You know, we are here to provide resources and facts. And right now, with everything going on, we know that COVID vaccinations are what we have as a resource, and that's what we're wanting to try to encourage our community and residents to go get vaccinated. But if you have questions, we want to help you work through those questions and answer anything that we can.
All right, very good. Thanks so much for both of you being here today. Jeannie Yateman, good to meet you and have you on. Chief Nursing Officer for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and of course, Tracy Pope, Director of Community Relations. That is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota Lamprey Quality Tractor Implements, including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty, extremely durable and well built. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic still limping along here on 24 westbound at OHB from this early morning crash that's been out here for quite some time. And it really has caused a problem here for folks trying to get out of Rutherford County into this part of Davidson County on 24 westbound. And once you get past OHB, it will pick back up. They're working there right there at OHB at I-24 in south of town. Just give yourself extra time out here. It's been really wild. Princess Hot Chicken is now hiring at both locations. You can apply online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on-site traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
West Tree Service, locally owned and operated in Lebanon, Tennessee. With over 25 years experience, our primary goal is to provide high-quality professional service with attention to detail. At West Tree Service, we use better equipment to be more efficient, which equals reasonable prices for our customers. We offer free estimates with no obligation. We are licensed and fully insured. West Tree Service, honest service, says professional, courteous, and on time. For more information, visit westtreecare.com or call 615-456-2011.
At Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, world-class care is a heartbeat away. In fact, we offer the same world-class attention Middle Tennessee has come to rely on from a Vanderbilt Health Hospital. Supported by over 200 specialties, an expanded emergency department staffed with Vanderbilt Health physicians 24/7, and greater investments in life-saving technologies and care. It's just one more way we're making healthcare personal.
It's going to be beautiful outside today, especially for August standards. Temperatures today will top out in the mid-80s with low humidity as well. For Wednesday, more sunny weather is in the forecast with highs in the mid-80s. By Thursday, temperatures will reach the upper 80s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2 here on a Tuesday morning. We always enjoy having Sean Dozier come out to talk about Hearthside Senior Living. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
I'm good. I was telling you, I really enjoyed your interview with Jack Cato last week. I thought that was very, very good. I mean,
Yes, we need to do more of those.
yeah, that was an excellent show, and I appreciate you doing it.
Tell you what, when you get 91,
I'll be here. Yeah, I'll be here. I don't think I'll have as many stories to tell as he does. He's amazing. He's an amazing man, I tell you.
Really. Well, how are things at Hearthside?
Things at Hearthside are going great. I can't be more pleased with how things are going. We're continuing to attract new residents to our community every single week. We've got 2 moving in this week, so we're getting back to pre-COVID levels, which is really good for our community. Our assisted living is continuing to fill back up, so people are getting out there. They're seeing what's out there. They're looking at their options, and we're thrilled to be a community in Lebanon that people look at and appreciate being there. We started as a ministry. We continue to be that ministry-focused community that serves people, and we really do serve people with our heart, and I think that shows when we give our tours and when they actually move in. We make it very, very simple for them. You know, we like to say we're independent living and assisted living without the hassle. There's not a lot of hassle moving into Hearthside. There's not a community fee. There's not a move-in fee. There's not all these extra fees. It's just a one-time monthly fee that we charge. It's the bottom line, and people appreciate that. They when they move in, they meet with one person that sort of walks them through the process, Janet Presley, and so they're really when they move in, they're right at home.
Well, I say it a little bit differently, but nobody likes to be nickeled and dimed to death.
That's right, and we really try not to do that. We have one price. We have a price that sort of encompasses everything that we do, and people appreciate that, knowing what they're going to pay right when they move in. But other than that, things are going great. We have a waiting list still for our independent living, our 30 homes. That's right there at the bottom of the hill from the assisted living.
You ever think you didn't build enough?
Oh, all the time, all the time. I wish I had 30 more. I've got a large waiting list for those homes, and people are attracted to that because they're one story, no stairs. Yeah. We like to say maintenance-free living. You know, we have a full-time maintenance man on site. You just pick up the phone and call, and we take care of most issues in that home, and you can leave it. And, you know, a lot of people go on vacation. A lot of people travel at that age, and they like to come home, and it's all there ready to go.
Well, it almost sells itself, I think, and I don't know how you could improve on it much other than maybe having, unless you had twice as many, but then you'd have twice as many people take care.
No, I would love to have a few more, but right now we'll stick with 30, and our wait list is, we've got several people on there that are ready to move, but some people just want to be on there for the future, just in case they decide to make that move.
There are some perks if you're there, and then you need assisted living. You go to the top of the list.
That's right. In fact, this past month we had a resident who's lived there many, many years. She decided that she needed just a little bit of extra help, so she decided to move into the assisted living. It's been a smooth transition because she knows the community, she knows the people there, she knows the kitchen staff, she knows everybody, so it's been a great transition. So that it really is a perk. Plus those $3 meals. You know, if you live down there,
I was going to mention that.
If you live down there in those homes, you can just call us ahead of time, and we'll have the meal ready for you at curbside, and that's very, very popular.
Boy, isn't it? Yeah. Well, your location, 215 Castle Heights Avenue North. You're right in the heart of town. You're near City Hall. You're just almost a stone's throw from the Jimmy Floyd Center.
Couldn't ask for a better location. I tell you, we. Right there at 215 Castle Heights Avenue North, as you said. Call us at 615-443-1994. We'd love to give you a tour. Stop by to see us during business hours, or really anytime. Our staff would love to give you a tour. You can check out our website at hearthsideliving.com, and there's a lot of information there.
Right, and again, the retirement community is full with a waiting list. Assisted living, a few openings.
Yeah, we're
filling
back up. You know, we after 2020 we were pretty much full, and then first of this year We had some folks that moved out, but we're filling back up, and we've got a couple of small rooms that are just a great price. If anybody's looking for just a small unit, call us again or stop by and see us.
Okay, are we ready for a heart site hello?
Well, yesterday at Kiwanis, Ronnie Kelly told me he had a birthday today. So make sure you tell Ronnie when he comes in Thursday that he got his first heart site hello. Ronnie Kelly, hello and happy birthday.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, make sure you tell him.
Well, Sean, it's always good to have you on a Tuesday. I hope we can continue this for a long time to come, and you just keep taking care of people at Hearthside.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right,
Bye.
see you next week. We're about 21 and a half before the hour, and our Director of Schools for Wilson County, Jeff Luttrell, is here to talk about last night's Board of Education meeting, about the start of school, about what it's like. Let's see, after a month and 2 or 3 days. And Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And how are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. What has the first month or so really been like for you? Has there been a lot of surprises, or has it been pretty much what you thought?
No, that's pretty much what I thought. It's been hectic,
Yeah.
a lot of meetings and trying to get around and meet everyone in the community and, of course, with our school organization. So it's been busy, but it has been pretty much what I expected.
Well, now, I guess maybe it's the official start of school, first day of school. It's this Thursday, right?
It is. We'll start August 5th. We've had our teachers in. They reported yesterday, starting some of their PD and in-service training, and some of it already been the week before. But yeah, we're got our teachers back in our buildings, and we'll have buses rolling, students in our buildings on Thursday.
What are any really surprises that you think of? Anything that's really going to grab anybody as school starts here? Anything totally different that you've come up with at the last minute?
No, just I think our growth, numbers are increasing every day with student enrollment. We're projecting now to be about 19,500 students, over 2,000 students more than we had at the end of the school year. And we know those numbers will settle a little bit because we don't have some withdrawals yet. But all indication our numbers are really up, and that's a large number to absorb in a year. But that's probably the biggest thing that I'm watching, and we're having to continue to add teachers because of that. As class sizes go over the state mandate and requirement, we have to add a teacher. So the growth is really showing up.
Has the growth been in one particular area, or is it pretty spread out all the way through K through 12?
It's K-12, and it's all parts of the county.
Yeah.
It's just Wilson County seems to be a destination place for a lot of people, and we're seeing that.
But if somebody's interested in teaching, you're looking to hire a few right now?
Oh, we are. Yes, we've still got some openings looking to fill, and we know, and this is statewide, nationwide, that we're starting to see the beginnings of some numbers that tell us that there's a possibility of shortage of teachers in the next few years.
What happened at the board meeting last night?
It was pretty, this board meeting, of course, you get in these summer months and just really housekeeping stuff. Of course, we had a large crowd, had a lot of speakers there last night that were some in favor of a mask and some in opposition of a mask. And our stance has been since July that we're going to be optional. That there was no change made in that last night.
That means you wear a mask if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Everyone can wear a mask that wants to, but it's optional. We will not be mandating it this time, and I think that's what most of districts in Tennessee are doing. But we did have a great outpouring of people coming to express themselves at our board meeting, and so that's a good thing when you get people and get people's input. But that was probably the biggest thing that's going to catch people's attention. But other than that, just setting school board meetings for the rest of the year.
Well, let's talk just a little bit more about that. I guess you've got some people who are really adamant, and not only do they want their students to wear a mask, but they want everybody else to. And then you've got some others that say, I guess, don't tread on me. You wear yours if you want to, but don't make me. Is that kind of?
It is, yes. And you know, about a month ago or in July when I first took over, that was one of the first things we looked at. And at that time, our numbers were extremely low.
Right.
And we made the decision to go optional, and we continue to watch that. But yes, you've got, you know, a school is nothing more than a reflection of your society and your community, and there's a lot of people on both sides that have their opinions and views, and you know, what our job to do is to educate all students, to provide a safe place for them and their faculty.
Well, I guess there's a possibility here of this stance creating a little animosity even between some of the students, if it filters down from their parents who feel very strongly one way or the other.
Well, you know, I guess that's a possibility, but my 28 years of experience, one thing I know about kids, you get them in a school setting, they work a lot of things out. And so I do not expect that. We cannot allow that. Everyone has a right to their opinion. And we won't allow that in our schools. But I really know if we can get our kids in school, you're going to see kids go about their business. And it's amazing. A school environment's a unique place. And kids usually figure out things and they decide how they're going to handle situations, and I'm proud of our students, you know, and we live in a country of freedom. Everyone has a right to express their views, and we should, and we cherish that, and that's what we want in our schools also.
All right, very good. Let's go ahead and take our break here. Jeff Luttrell is our director of schools, and he's here. We've got more to talk about in a moment on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:44. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. It's $49.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. Tire rotation safety check too. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic flow still very slow here from our early morning crash on 24 westbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. Trying to get in from Rutherford County has been a challenge. The police department's got an active shooting situation going on right now over in Antioch at Smile Direct Club. In that area, it's a warehouse. Again, there in Antioch, a lot of police activity. Working a crash west end on that ramp there at 440 East. Princess Hot Chicken is hiring at both locations. Apply online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and my thanks to Jeff Luttrell, our director of schools, for being here this morning. What's the fact that you don't have the first day of school till Thursday? The teachers have been getting ready for it since Monday, I guess. Well, probably before that, but especially this week. So I take it things are going to. You look for Thursday to be as good of an opening as possible because of preparation and the work that's being done ahead of time.
Yeah, that's what you always hope for and strive for. I was in 6 schools yesterday, meeting with faculty and talking to some teachers, and just to see that excitement. And, I had a couple of them say, I'm a little bit nervous. And these are veterans teachers. And I said, that's a good thing. Because for 28 years, that day before you start school, I've never slept real well, just anticipating the start of the school year. So we've done a lot of work. Our schools, our principals, our teachers, all of our cafeteria staff and our bus drivers, they've been working toward this day. And you hope that it will go off smooth, which I'm sure it will. But, of course, there's always something. Yeah. One of the things in leadership is there'll be something unintended that you didn't think about. But we've got professional people that can handle these situations. So we're looking forward to Thursday and getting our kids back in school.
Well, you did say a few minutes ago you've had an influx of students. enrollment has increased and you have had to hire a few teachers and are still hiring. What about bus drivers? Are you in good shape there?
Well, we're close. We lost a couple bus drivers over the weekend, took other jobs. So we talked to Mr. Jerry yesterday morning, and we're still trying to push a couple through training to get them, but we're going to be close, and he will pull, of course, staff and everybody we can to cover our routes.
Well, the thing about it is everybody can't be a bus driver. I don't know how many people want to be, but there's certain requirements, and if you don't have a good track record, that might knock you out. You have to have some training and a special license, don't you?
That's correct. And anyone that's interested in driving for us, we're hiring, and we take care of the training in-house. So if you contact the transportation department, they'd be glad to talk with you and would get you started in that process.
Well, it's certain demands on a school bus driver, and it's probably not for everybody, but really, I think y'all have increased the pay considerably, almost had to, because of a lack of drivers in the past. And so for somebody that's maybe retired or just want to work a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the afternoon, it's not a bad deal.
It's not, and we always are looking for people that may not want to drive every day, but want to be filling a substitute role. We'll go ahead and train them, get their CDLs, so that they can do that, and then we can schedule them where they really at their convenience and let them set their schedule.
Jeff, it seems like we hear about teachers and bus drivers. We don't hardly ever hear about cooks in the cafeteria or custodians or some of those other people who are very necessary and who have really an important role to play. But are you okay there?
Well, we've they've worked extremely hard in the cafeteria to try to get all their positions filled, and really coming out of this during the pandemic, we began to run into this, and we're seeing this nationwide. And so yeah, we still have some openings. It's harder to find these people, and one of the reasons is because strictly the pay. It's hard for us to compete with signing bonuses, and where our pay scale's at does not compare to what they can go out into public work. So that is a challenge. But one of the things, we've got a lot of loyal employees that have been with us for a long time that want that school environment, that want to serve their community and serve kids and be around kids. They do a tremendous job. We have right at 1,400 teachers, but a lot of people don't realize we're pushing over 900 classified positions. And I tell people it's like a glove. You've got to have all of these people to pull off what we do to educate students, and they're valuable to us. And we've added, we gave a 5% raise this year. We're going to have to continue to look at that because everybody involved in a school setting is vital to making sure that kid's experience is what we want it to be in Wilson County.
We've talked about the learning. Well, there's a word for it. It slips me right now. But anyway, the fact that we didn't have school as we regularly do for COVID, and it's questionable as to what the quality of the education. And so that has to be addressed. Where do you feel we are, and how lacking, or are we almost up to date there because of COVID?
Well, what you're referring to, Coleman, in our business, we're calling the learning loss.
Yes.
And that phrase is out there, and I think anybody who looks back over the last 18 months, the one thing that I think a lot of us have known for a long time, but has been highlighted, is there's nothing more important than instruction and the relationship of a professional teacher with a student. So, yeah, we due to some things that happened and being out of school, and we try to do the best we can, and we'll always do. But, in-person learning is going to come out of this and with a kind of a star beside it, because we know that's what it takes. So, yes, there's going to be some learning loss. But, Coleman, I'll tell you, our teaching profession does know how to handle this. I feel like there's learning loss over the summer. I remember as a kid, I forgot some things, and it was because I was not focusing on it every day. So we know how to deal with that, and our teachers are excellent at what they do, and they will be picking those kids back up. We have the learning camps this summer. We're getting ready to start. Once we get in school, we're going to offer a tutoring program after school that will allow those students to receive some extra instruction. So yes, we know there's some learning loss. The data's not all out yet. We're starting to get bits and pieces of it. But I do think Wilson County is one of the leaders in education. I think we're going to remain there, but we've just got a lot of work ahead of us, and we know that.
All right, let me talk about the situation to the west here and the new high school, the configuration that took place because of the tornado. Are we doing things the same way we did at the end of last year, at the start of this school year, as far as where they go to school and who's where?
Well, we've made a little adjustment. Of course, what we've done is we have 20-some rooms at West Wilson, a wing that was not damaged by the tornado. So we went in there, and we're going to run our early grade students in Stoner Creek. They're going to go in there until we get our portables in. We're still waiting on them to be delivered. And then we've made some moves, and we've covered that, and the principals have been in great contact with their parents. And so our students know, but our Stoner Creek Elementary, our K-5 students we'll start the year in the West Wing at West Wilson. Our West Wilson middle students, 6th and 7th graders, are going to be at Mount Juliet Middle School. And then our West Wilson Middle School 8th graders, they're going to be at Mount Juliet High School. And so that will be a great transition for them for next year. They'll already be in the building, know the building. And then our Mount Juliet Middle School 8th graders, they're going to be at Green Hills High School. Mm-hmm. So we have that arrangement made. And, we're excited. August the 5th, we start school, but we'll also have a bid opening to see what construction companies earned the low bid. And then we'll look at getting that to our Board of Education for approval so we can start that process.
Are most parents, 50% plus one or better, okay with this? I mean, they understand. They may not like it, but are they fairly supporting you and behind this?
They are, and we've been in contact, and we're taking. I gave a report last night. We've done air quality tests. Of course we've got letters from everyone. Our safety of our students is our utmost importance, and yes, they have been very supportive. Is it the ideal situation? No, there's a lot of things you could say. Boy, I wish we could do this, do that. But it's where we're at. It's the hand we've been dealt, and our teachers are extremely excited to be in where they're at. And I was with most of them yesterday, and I'll be back in that area the rest of the week to cover a couple more schools. But just it was refreshing for me to see their excitement. Mm-hmm. And I think there's open houses going on this week, and that gives them a chance to talk with those parents. And so, yes, they've been very supportive. We're aware of their concerns. I get it as a parent, but I do think that we can make this experience as well as possible.
Let's talk about extracurricular activities, and maybe in particular sports. Football season will be getting off. Of course, TSSAA has certain rules. You can do this today. You can put on the pads next week and all that. I don't guess compliance is a problem there. They're just supposed to do that. How are things looking, and any difficult situations you had to go through here?
Well, again, coaches have adapted, and they're running precautions themselves, trying to keep kids as healthy as possible. But where we're at, most of our teams had a scrimmage last Friday of some sort. I know there's some schools got scrimmages this week and next Friday, so they're moving right ahead and planning for the season. And
the bands, okay?
Yep, I've been in some parking lots and watched the bands. I tell everybody the hardest group in working in school. They're out there in this heat on the pavement, and they're preparing their halftime show for the year. And so that's exciting, and yes, that's going on all over the county.
Well, I know we've talked, and hopefully I can ask an intelligent question here about I think there are some opportunities for people maybe to get a little bit of college even while they're in high school. Is this open at all our high schools?
It is. We're dual enrollment through Coleman University and Ball State and even MTSU. Our students are afforded the opportunity to get anywhere from 18 to 21 hours if they want it. And it's a huge benefit for the family and for the student. And so we continue to push that. Our AP courses is another route where a student can, if they receive a high enough test score and their college will accept it, they get college credit. So yeah, preparing our students for the future and getting a head start on that is a trend right now, and it's valuable to the students, it's valuable to the families, and it's just a good program.
Well, I guess anybody can get overloaded, but somebody that wants to do everything, be in every club they can, be an athlete, take extra credit for college. I mean, the opportunity is there. It's up to how much they can successfully do, I guess. But you have some good guidance, some people who kind of encourage and maybe say this is good and this might not be good, I suppose, as well as the parents.
We do, of course, with parents also. But you know, one of the things about the education business, teachers do more than teach. They become natural mentors. And, you know, we encourage our teachers to know your students, know what their interests are. You know, I use the word passion a lot. Find out what the kid is passionate about. And we have an education system in Wilson County that allows those kids to have those avenues and opportunities within our schools. And that's one of the reasons we have success, and that's one of the reasons we're having all this growth. People recognize that and are looking for it and are willing to move to it so their kids can enroll in our schools.
Well, we've come to the end of our time here, but I appreciate your being here today. I know you've got a busy week, and as you said earlier, you got to be a few butterflies, a little nervous as school starts, but we wish you much success, and hopefully it will all get going well this week, and that Thursday will be a great day. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Coleman.
Jeff Luttrell, our Director of Schools for Wilson County. That's it for Tuesday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Wednesday edition. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.